Today I'm going to show you a kindergarten lesson on how to make a paper collaged penguin. And the materials we're going to start off with today are just a blue background. It can be any color blue that you'd like, and a pencil. To start creating my paper collage, I'm going to start with a pencil right in the middle of my paper, and I'm going to draw a big, tall, curved line, kind of like a rainbow. That's going to be the middle or the body of the penguin. So I want to make sure that I've got a little bit of space below down here, and I also want to make sure I have a little bit of space above. And since you can't really see the lines on my paper while I'm using a pencil, I'm going to draw them with a Sharpie marker just for the audience so that they can see better on the screen. So I'm going over that curved line that I just drew. I drew one big curved line in the middle of my paper. I have some space down here for the penguin to be in the snow and some space up here for the head and the sky. The next step is to close off that shape. So with my pencil, I'm going to draw a straight line at the bottom of the curved line that I just drew, connecting that shape. For the next step, you're going to need a white piece of paper and a glue stick. So I'm going to take the white piece of paper and I'm going to start just ripping it up into a bunch of different pieces. So I'm pulling towards my body and away from my body, and then I'm just taking those pieces of paper and ripping and ripping and ripping them into smaller pieces, okay? So these size pieces here that you see on my paper would probably be about good. This paper right here is way too big. So I'm gonna work on still ripping up my piece of paper into smaller pieces. So I've ripped about half of my piece of paper now, and it looks like I might need just a few more pieces. So some of these that are a little bit bigger, I'm ripping those in half until I have a nice pile of scraps to get started with the penguin belly. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the glue stick and I'm going to put it on just this half, just side of my line here. So I went right along my line with my glue stick. And now I'm going to take my white papers and I'm going to follow the line with all those papers that I just ripped up. And as I get closer and run out of spots that are glued, I'll start to glue some more. So now I don't have any more glue, so I can go down here on my bottom line, add some glue. And I didn't put glue around the whole thing at once because if I did that, my glue might dry by the time I get around my penguin shape. So I'm going down along the bottom. Now I'm going to add glue along this side, and I'm going to go ahead and outline that with my white papers as well. The next step is to continue filling in the penguin belly with the white scraps. So I'm putting just a little bit of glue here down on the bottom half of the belly, and I'm going to take from my scrap pile and start filling in all of that so that you can't see any blue, because if it was a real penguin, I would not be able to see the blue paper or the sky from between the penguin's belly. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this whole thing in, and if I run out of scraps, then I'll stop and rip up a couple more pieces of white and then keep filling this in until the whole penguin middle is completely filled in with white. The next step is to take a black piece of paper this time and rip it up just like you did with the white paper into about the same size pieces. So I'm just going to start making a pile here of little black pieces that I am ripping up from the black construction paper. Now what I'm going to do with those black pieces that I've ripped up is I'm going to start going around the outside of my penguin. So up here at the top of the penguin, I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on just a small section, and I'm going to make sure that the black touches the outside of the white, and I'm going to start outlining my penguin with black pieces that I just ripped up. So I'm going along here, and again I just did a little section of glue so that my glue didn't dry, so I need a little bit more. As I'm coming all the way down here, I'm going to go all the way around my penguin and down along the bottom. Alright, as you can see, I've gone all the way around my penguin. I've done the bottom of my penguin. And now I'm going to do just a little bit out to each side. So I'm going to go over to this side and add just a little bit. And then I'm going to go over to the other side and add just a little bit. But the penguin's kind of sitting down like that, or standing with his legs out. This is the first steps in a kindergarten lesson on making a paper collaged penguin.